Okay, so please, what we're going over today is that I just made a TikTok video about a self-defense move. Now, this self-defense move, I was gearing it towards a female, okay? But it can be used for a kid or an adult man. It doesn't matter who, because all these self-defense moves are universal. So my point with this whole thing is there's another person on TikTok, Self-Defense Online, who I highly recommend, if you follow me on TikTok, to follow them, okay? So I'm gonna put a couple different links of these two here that also on TikTok to go follow, because they have cool stuff on there. Now, in and of itself, the move I'm going to show that we're all gonna break down and do right now, it's if somebody grabs you by the throat, okay? So now, please go over it. So now here's what's gonna happen. Yeah, you're gonna circle out, and now, which we're gonna show in a second, this first arm that circled is behind my elbow. The second hand is on my shoulder, obviously. So this hand pushes, this hand pries up. Yeah. Now, it's right on the joint. Now, in and of itself, it's not going to break a bone, but what it's going to do is dislocate the elbow, okay? Now, if you know anything about soft tissue damage, or if you've broken bones before, a bone heals much quicker than soft tissue damage. So in and of itself, that elbow, dislocating the elbow, is gonna take way longer to heal than if you were to break your bone. Not too many people know that. So we're gonna break this down a couple different ways we're gonna do this. So, hello, I'm glad you're here. So I come up, now I can be from the side, boom, same arm. Now if you notice, yes, it comes from inside out. We'll go back up on the side. Now if you notice, when Jackie, when she wrapped my arm, her arm is directly behind my elbow, okay? So that's step number one. Step number two, she's gonna push off my shoulder. Step number three, well, she's placing her hand on my shoulder. She's not pushing yet. Step number three, her hand goes on her wrist, and all she's gonna do is push and pry up, boom. Now, if you notice, when she does that, one more time, please, boom, I'm gonna get real tall because I want that pressure to go off, but she can still finish the submission or the dislocation, whatever you wanna call it, okay? Now, that was if I'm on the side. Okay, now if I'm on the front, okay, doesn't matter, we're gonna break this down a couple different ways too. If I come up front, it's the same scenario. There you go, from inside out. Now, as soon as she wraps that arm behind my elbow, I can already feel the tension before she even locks it up. So boom, and then hit it. So there's 3 steps. I grab her by the neck. Here's the 3. 1, she hugs my arm. That's 1. 2, she places her hand on my shoulder. 3, I guess there's 4. She places her hand on her wrist. And the last one, she's gonna pry up. Now, the majority of the time, naturally, people back out of things. They don't push in. So what's gonna happen, we're gonna do the same submission or the same technique, and I'm gonna back out. Now, all that does, when I back it out, it makes it worse on me. So I come here, again, doesn't matter. She hugs, presses, boom. Now, if I back up, it makes it worse really quick, okay? And what happens when I back out, naturally, my hand is in a real awkward position. So how I have to pull that out, my hand's going to be, it's gonna be flexed, okay? So it makes it even harder for me to pull my hand out. I'll break that down at another time too. So one more time, boom. Boom. So now my hand's stuck in her armpit. I go to back it out, and it makes it even worse, okay? So in and of itself, do you know how many pounds of pressure it takes to snap that?
No, but probably not much.
Yeah, not much. It takes 8 pounds of pressure to snap that. Most all like the ligament breaks or tears or all that kind of stuff is usually about 8 pounds of pressure, give or take. Sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's 12. But in and of itself, 8 pounds is nothing to do so much damage. Now, okay, now here's where we're gonna break this down. We're gonna do the exact same technique, submission, whatever you want to call it, from here. So Jackie's up against the wall, and I grab her by the throat. Same thing. Boom. Okay, I try to back up. Wait. Okay, and she still gets it. Now, we were talking about this before we shot the video, and we spoke about it, but I didn't know I was going to put her on the spot. Now, what do you think if I come up and grab you by the neck? I'm going to let her break it down because I don't want to give it away. So explain what your thought process is.
I'm usually not going to let you get to this point.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, good girl.
I'm going to run.
Try
to at least.
Yeah, no, you will. Here's my thing, and you're supposed to, like you see all these YouTube videos or whatever videos about, okay, how do you get out of this and so and what have you. Dude, you must have been sleeping. If I'm able to walk up to her and grab her by the throat, I mean, I know her, but still, she still wouldn't let me do this on that one. You have, like literally, you have to be extremely intoxicated or literally sleeping on the job to let anybody come up and grab you by the throat, okay, or even touch you. So, for example, this is her arm's reach. Okay, we're just gonna use it because we just got done boxing. So she makes a fist here. Now, there's no way that anyone should ever be, unless it's her husband, step inside of that, be closer to her than that, unless she allows it, okay? So now, whether it could be anywhere, a bank, a club, whatever. So if I'm already walking towards her that way and she has an idea that I'm gonna be inside of that space, all she's gonna do is move. And it doesn't matter what you look like. You could turn like, you look like an idiot because you moved. It's safety first. We live in really funky times right now, okay? Like it's all bad. So the law enforcement I work with, or I know, they tell me up in LA, it's really bad in Los Angeles right now, specifically for women, okay? There's more women getting stuck in trunks and getting kidnapped and such. It's just really bad. So it doesn't matter what you look like, or if somebody thought you look silly or whatever. Don't let anybody get inside of that space. And we didn't know, or she didn't know I was gonna put her on the spot about being able to do that. Like really, like that's not gonna happen. If that happens to you, like you really gotta, you have to be like, your senses have to be going all the time. When you're walking to your car from the store or just what have you, if you're by yourself, you gotta know like every angle and what's going on. It's a bad thing to have to think that way, but in and of itself, that's how that goes down. Now, we're going back to this thing. If you follow myself, or like I was saying, self-defense online on TikTok or other social media things, and so far it's not a page for me, it's a page for everybody. It's a community page. So that's why I say, like, if you have questions, comments, please let us know, because we'll make videos or break things down, because this is very important to me. But do you have anything to say? I like putting you on the spot. Okay. But in and of itself, we're gonna do that submission one more time. So if somebody grabs you by the neck, around the elbow, you're gonna push, pry up, and bang, and you'll get it. And that person said it doesn't work. Now, you know, first of all, why it's not gonna work, because there's no way on God's green earth that you should ever let anybody touch you by the neck like that, especially if they don't know you, okay? Run, yell, make a bunch of noise. If I'm sitting here, not that I would do this, but if I'm sitting here and try to attack somebody and she's yelling and screaming and doing what I don't know, especially like trying to scratch my eyes out or whatever, for sure, okay? It's not gonna work. This is like a last ditch effort if somebody's coming here and then boom, she just bam, bam, bam. Now, if you have a husband, a brother, an uncle, a neighbor, whoever to practice this with, please practice it, because it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So I'm going to continue showing like different self-defense moves and just techniques, but in and of itself, don't get stuck in that position to where you're fighting your way out of a position. It's no different than when I'm in an MMA fight, like, oh, the guy kicked me or punched me. You know why I got punched in the face if I did? Because I was there. Don't be there, just move. It's that easy. So I'm trying to take the self-defense thing and make it very simple so you don't have to worry about dealing with any of these knuckleheads. But we're gonna try this again. For right now, if you didn't know,
now you know.